Alright, hello and welcome to another one of these kinds of videos. Map review, kind of. Pre-playtest map review. Let's call it that. And this time we have DE Sienna, a 1.6 or Condition 0 map originally, made by Dave Johnston, remade it to CSGO. And I opened up a little Google page here for some reference pictures of the map. So, map made by Dave Johnston for Condition 0. The same guy who made Cobblestone and both of the Dust maps. And the third one, if you know about that. And yeah, so we did play this map, this remake of Sienna couple... should I say couple months ago? I'm gonna say a month ago. Let's say that. And that version was a 1-to-1 port from 1.6 or Condition 0, and it very closely followed everything that the original map did back then. And this is a kind of a touch up and update on the layout. And I'm gonna show you the map around. So let's start with the B-bomb side, since it's apparently a little bit closer to the CT spawn. We take a left, we come to this apartment storage area, and then we're straight on the bomb side. Boom. And the shape of this area is quite exactly the same. The updates to the structure of this area is that the stairs go up like this, and they loop around back to this balcony area right here. And here we can see a view to the mid of the level. And then we have this window, which is a little bit buggy. A hole in the wall without anything that you don't have to break anything here. This just, the map spawns like this. So yeah, a hole in the wall, which grants you another access to the mid. So a very CT contested area here, and this is also kind of a entrance way to the bomb site through the mid. So let's actually take our way down to the mid. So Sienna is kind of a cool map in the way that it doesn't really do mids classically, as you might know. Here the mid, I shouldn't even call it a mid, since it's like alternate path to a bomb site. Basically, you could define mid as a point usually located in the middle of the map, which under control grants the teams or the players a place to rotate between two of the bomb sites, in between the bomb sites. And this area in this map does that exactly. And if you look at the radar, it's actually scoot up here. We can see that this is the T-spawn. In case you're not familiar, it goes like this, and it forks into two, so it's like a letter Y. And on the left side is bomb site A. On the right hand side is bomb site B. And yeah, and this is on this version. It seems that this would be more of a terrorist contested area, as in the 1.6 port raw version. I'm gonna call it raw. This was very much contested by the CTs, so we'll see how and if the timings will allow that. And judging by the radar, the timings do allow that. So really interested how that will play out. The mid routing also, having the control of the mid also allows you to rotate through this checkered floor room here, which should be called checkers. That's actually pretty good call out if you don't want to call this connector, because like this could be also called connector or whatever. Yeah. And this is just outside the bomb site B. If you remember, this used to be a huge like a ramp going down, and then there was like a plateau on the other side. Originally the bomb site was on that plateau, but it had which would have been here. But yeah, then on the port version it was moved to here, which it resembled. Actually, I'm not quite sure if the Condition 0 had the bomb site over there on the other side, or here, or if the bomb site's inclusion in this spot over here, it was Dave's original idea, but he didn't make it onto the Condition Zero map, and that's why Zetta probably... I might be wrong about this, but this is the location of the bomb site here, and the raw version that we played this at, it was also here. But yeah, very simple bomb site, and it's kind of tucked in the back. Sorry for the little tangent there. I hope you're still following. This lovely shaded area here is the B main. Sorry if I'm also scooting around a little bit too fast. And this apartment area here used to be a raised up platform, little like side yard area, which would have come from the back flank position, kind of in the back like this, or more in the back like that. But yeah, now it is its own balcony area, which nicely contests the CT upper balcony area here. Let's get down to the T side of things. Here we have another tile floor room with a chicken, and this leads us to the terrorists spawn side of things. Lovely water. Yeah, T-spawn is right over here, and it feels like it's a little bit further back this time, but I doubt for timing reasons it would be. But yeah, this just feels like that. Probably because the previous spawn was a little bit smaller, but anyway. I like that it's a little bit more opened up, and definitely the unique spawn. One thing here, definitely, that I noticed, maybe not with the guns, maybe AK will like pop out of the water or whatever. But for example, the CT guns completely disappear in the water. But yeah, not a big thing, to be honest. So yeah, take a right from the T spawn. You can get through this another tile floor here, and you pretty much get to the B split if you don't want to. If you want to take the B long, and this angle actually comes straight onto the bomb site. There is a little gap here, which probably needs to be fixed. No, I'm not sure if intentional. I do like spots like this in maps when they are pointed out clearly. So let's say like that sort of a thing was like in between these crates or whatever, and everyone could use that, and it was conveyed to the players very clearly. Then that would be kind of cool. That could be kind of a cool gimmick. But yeah, and then through here, this is actually kind of a T-side connector, which did exist in the older version as well that we played tested, and but it didn't go to. Oh, never mind. This connector is actually the exact same, kind of. What I was trying to look for, I thought that this route was this. And this didn't exist in the version that we playtested. So basically the map was kind of skewed towards players going B, and then the B routing kind of like split up into like at this point, so that the T's would get control of this upper area that wasn't the older version, but yeah, they could like get up onto a platform that was here previously, but now they have been switched to a lower entrance behind the SWAT truck, and this actually looks like an interesting angle to hold. That is actually really cool. I dig that, definitely. Yeah, awesome. Might this be a boost? No, I don't. Yeah, it's clipped. Never mind. Yeah, okay. Straight off the T-spawn, we take a left into this very gray room, and that definitely helps the letters to pop out more. Interesting. And we have some nade windows which overlook the mid of the level. We have some beans. Another kind of this sort of an angle. This angle reminds me of this angle. That's cool. Oh, a little feedback. Maybe. Actually, never mind. Oh, you know what would be like kind of a 5-head fucking strat? Is to boost the player here, get a run boost, get boosted over, and then peek from a crouch like this. Pop. Since these two angles are kind of different, and if a CT player is like not crouching or holding a further back angle like on the elevated stairs, they might not see a player like getting run boosted over. So that's really cool. I'm excited. Another nade window. So definitely in the older version, we lacked some sort of terrorist utility control over the mid area of the level. And I felt that some parts kind of lacked purpose. In that, like, this little nuke wasn't played that much. There was a nuke under... So, this checkered area was a window up there. And the only way to get there was through a little parkour over here. And then you would basically get another spot that... like a window that was elevated there. I have to admit, a little bit of a... little thought in me kind of wishes that this remake could keep the cool, like, quirky 1.6 style of things in it, at the same time of making those angles like more readable and more like easily visible. As like this spot wouldn't be that bad to actually peek from here, since it's elevated. There's a SWAT car in the in between these angles. I get it. This makes it more convenient to rotate between, and maybe that might actually be a change that terrorists need upon getting like this sort of control that lets them rotate between these two areas more fluently, and that they can actually fight B from an alternate angle this time around, and they can actually take the mid from alternate entrance, since they don't have to push through, like, they don't have to peek the bomb site that much to get over here, and this might be like a more sneaky and kind of a discreet way to actually take up this area and then flank A. I'm excited to see how this plays. Zetta for optimization. Add a brush of no draw in between here. Sorry, I had to. This area used to be kind of a what is it, like a inclining ramp banana thing. So the T's would come up from like back here, and then they would be open up to the CT angles. I do have so blocking off long angles like this, it's a kind of a double-edged sword. So it might be kind of overpowered for CTs to gain like this much. Oh well, the angle still exists, but the CTs have to push past this door. So the deal with balancing spots with taking away from the CT control is that it also taxes terrorists for pushing up and being aggressive on the CT control points. So that's just something that you have to think about when balancing maps and balancing angles, is that, yeah, it might be overpowered for CTs like pushing up and getting early information, but it's also, if the terrorists manage to get that pick, they manage to kill the CT as they're scouting for information or whatever, that's a huge open for terrorists as well. So we'll see how that might play, but I do like that the CTs can choose to be aggressive. I might be also misremembering the... Excuse me. I coughed at the same exact time as I got a Discord message notification sound. I'm curious to see how that sounds in the video. Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to also see how that plays. And this banana area here, Ooh, okay. Here's a new little nook back up here. So I might be misremembering this as well, but I remember that this was just an empty hall. There might have been like a stack of boxes here, which has been replaced by this like neat little corner back here. This also, I assume that this is boostable. Yeah, it is. Okay, and I think that players' legs might be visible through there, or like the player model. They might be completely obstructed. So yeah, definitely I would like for it to be like that this or that would be made of some wallbangable material. As a terrorist pushing up, you could clear that corner by wallbanging that, or it's just like through here, wallbanging that. I have to note that there's another hidey hole here, so you could actually have like a double, like one boost here and another one here. Like this wouldn't be the boost, but this could be like a cool double setup. And we have naturally waltzed our way to the A-bomb site conveniently. This was an angle. I kind of do like this. Kind of reminds me of well, many 1.6 maps and the bomb site design in them. They were filled with small nooks and crannies like this, and I do like that. Do like it. Reminds me of Tuscan. And don't remember exactly how the bomb site cover was laid out, but this I do like that you can get up here. I do like the fact that this is also separated from... Maybe this window room could be made into, like, these sorts of pillars could be expanded on so that this would be, like, an alleyway, like a arched alleyway or whatever. And then those two arches would be just, like, blocked off by with some veneer or like, plywood or something. Because this sort of a door kind of choke points too much, in my opinion. The door frame could be here or here, just for like optimization reasons, and also for... Oh, I fell through the map. Also for dividing these areas to like just a little bit from each other. So you have this lower entrance, and then you have this upper entrance, and you could separate the areas a little bit better by having another door there, and then skewing this angle a little bit more, just so it's a little bit more fun to push up here, and then through here, this is the choke point. You win this choke point, and then you have a little bit easier routing to the bomb site. But not a terrible thing by any means. Here is a thing that I know that will definitely affect the balance and retakeability of the bomb site. So small things like this wall being so that you cannot hide behind this angle that much. I know it's like through here, a terrorist playing from here, he's just gonna check like that. But what happens when a CT hugs this wall? There's no cover for them. So, and like, terrorists don't really have to like worry about, after a smoke dissipates from here, about a CT hugging this wall, since like it would be nonsensical. Maybe as an off angle, but then again, if the CT hugs that wall, he's gonna be in a very disadvantageous spot after the terrorist decides to peek that. So just for retaking reasons, maybe lower this wall, add a window there, and make this a little bit deeper, just so you can hide behind this wall properly. Because this will be smoked off. 100%. This might be also kind of rough. Damn, I need to restart the round the second time here. This angle might be a little bit rough. Let's see if you can wallbang that. Yeah, you can wallbang it. I am curious to see how the ops reduced ammo capacity in the magazine. Definitely, it will come into play in the players spamming the walls for like early wallbangs or whatever. It's like checking corners. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that will affect. Yeah. Maybe some sort of a... Also, this wall was made a little bit deeper. You could check this corner without exposing yourself to the bomb site. And then the bomb site would have a little bit more retakeability and like pacing in the retakeability side of things. So you could push from the CT, like first like peek this angle, maybe even from the back there. Peek that shit. Bomb site cover. Upper window if you don't have any like bodies rotating with you. And then behind this box or whatever, and then you could clear that. That's cleared, and then you can wide peek onto the bomb site. So I think from retaking standpoint, this was a little bit work in progress, but yeah. Very situational also. I don't really know that if terrorists entering this bomb site will have that good of a time, since, or if the bomb site will be that like nuanced to play, since the T's after peeking this initial angle, there is also kind of nothing to play from as a CT. Like let's say that you're playing from here, you can't hide behind this wall since it's not deep enough. This is not cover. You might think it is cover, or like, you know, you can't, your player is not obstructed enough by that to be like comfortable cover to play around. And yeah, I think this heaven needs to be a little bit more powerful. That with a Molotov you can actually like negate all of that power. Otherwise, like, this Molotov is just meant for players like pushing out from here, not so much to clear like this corner, this cover here, since there is no cover. It's just denying access to the point, to the upper. And this Molotov does the exact same thing as a smoke, or actually smoke over here. So yeah. And yeah, through terrorists actually pushing through these doors, I would like, you would think that there was something like here that they could push back, or like behind. Maybe like this corner actually exists also as a kind of a second thing to capture after the initial peek to the bomb site. Maybe that will be kind of an important spot to push to. What am I saying? Maybe this will have a deeper importance to the terrorists actually pushing up, since they can take cover behind this wall from the heaven area. But yeah, I feel like this needs to be a little bit more powerful, more deep, so that there's actually something dynamic to the bomb site, and how players will move when going from spot to spot. I think that this little detail part thing here needs to go, and maybe this wall needs to be a little bit deeper, just so this cover, or this corner, can be a little bit more powerful for the T's. And with a little change of making this also a little bit deeper, that would mean that this wall gets moved a little bit closer to the doors, so I think that would be a nice change. Also, I don't think these barrels really give you anything. A better use of these barrels would be one barrel over here, just so that the T's would, after taking this wall, hugging that wall, pushing through the doors, and hugging the wall, they would get a kind of a powerful spot here. And then, maybe then, there would kind of be like a terrorist almost always there, so maybe a wallbanging would become an actual strat over there, and you could get some kills. Yeah. So a lot has changed. Definitely, the map seems to... I'm not gonna say it lacks height variation, but it has been toned down quite a lot, actually, quite dramatically. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that why can't we have both? 1.6 or condition 0 style of level design with like crazy elevation changes. Like, how can you build that into a like competitively viable Counter-Strike map? Overpass does it. D-Nuke does it. D-Nuke has kept almost the exact same layout without changing any height variation. Of course, the player sizes are different in 1.6 and CSGO, so the maps feel less like elevational or less dramatic from height variation side of things. But I seriously think that that's something that you don't have to like shake out of a map, and those kinds of things, like, they bring personality, they bring value to distinct the maps from each other as well. And then with height variation becomes tied in with that little package comes the fact of fall damage. So Sienna didn't have really that much of a fall damage in any of the spots. But yeah, that's just a fact of life. You fall from too far, you're gonna hurt yourself. And that's definitely a thing that has been a part of Counter-Strike in the past, but it's, you know, with like Overpass, there's the water to absorb, and with Nuke they added like a pallet or like a fucking electrical box cover to obstruct that, and those are quality of life changes or whatever. But yeah, definitely a gameplay aspect that can be called gameplay aspect, in my opinion. Yeah, it's Sienna by Zetta, a remake by Zetta, original map by Dave Johnson, and play this soon. Check the previous playtest if you haven't seen that and if you're interested in the level. But yeah, all right, see you in the next one, I guess.